Back with more Danganronpa here. I'm having some issues. Apparently YouTube is not enjoying trying to connect.
It's because I tried to set it up. Because that's just my luck, boys.
I have no clue. I have no
clue
why it's not, because Twitch is loading just fine. And now it says that YouTube. Oh, look there. Now it's on. Now it's online for some reason. It just like it wasn't working initially, and now it is. That's weird. Anyway, let's continue. Where we left off. Which was nighttime, and we were being called to the gym or something like that. Leave the area? I mean, yes. What's going on, Kyoko? Oh, Kyoko, did you hear the announcement? Yes. I don't want to go, but I don't have any other choice, right? I'd imagine it's going to be good news, but it's not a good idea to defy him here and now. So I'm going on ahead. Anyway.
Okay.
So I think we're headed to the... Was it the dining hall or the gym that we were supposed to go to?
Someone's...
Yeah, we're going ahead. Looks that way. I don't like it. But he's gonna come from ignoring the bear. Kind of went all out with that sauna. Who went all out? That shit doesn't even faze me. But you know, there at the edge of hell, a promise between men was waiting for me. Never saw it coming. Anyway, let's get our asses into the gym. Yep, to the gym.
Okay, cool.
Someone's going to have killed Byakuya. Calling it now.
God, I hope so.
Also, to call a meeting right before nighttime.
Right?
Hey, Hifumi. How come you haven't gone in yet? Mr. Neji, don't scare me like that. Sorry, but we really should go inside. No, don't go. You can't go. That's what my ghost friend is telling me.
You're what now?
I don't feel good about it either, but we can't just ignore this. Damn, that's true too. I guess we have no choice. I have to go too. Asking us to gather together all of a sudden like this. What could he possibly want?
Well.
Indeed, what might await us this time? He keeps things interesting, that's for certain. Was that funny? Can't you smell like a normal person once? Can't you smile like a normal person once in a while? Like how the housewives on a classic TV show smiles at the end of an episode.
What the heck?
Something totally messed up with you if you can't laugh at a time like if you can laugh at a time like this. Which of us is actually messed up?
Huh?
What's that supposed to mean? Nothing in particular. Just admiring, that's all. I don't want to kill anyone, but I also don't want to stay here, living in blind denial day after day. I was just admiring how you could live like that and still keep your sanity.
What is this?
I'm not in denial. That reminds me. Remember how you kept talking about how the police or whoever would come help us? How'd that turn out? It seems to me there's no sign whatsoever of possible rescue.
Well...
That's just...
Huh?
I wonder what actually happened.
Certainly.
It's strange, that's true. There's no way the police would know about it. Right in the middle of a major urban area.
What?
The police suck! And for once, we can all agree with Hifumi. On the contrary, the mastermind may be just that powerful to take control even of the police.
Could it be?
Oh, this might not be related, but... And don't say it. Nope, gonna say it.
It's not like some occult mystery.
It's about last night. I was near the main hall just staring off into space. When all of a sudden, I heard it. You heard what? Sound that, I don't really know what it was. What kind of sound? Well, like I said, I don't really know. But if I had to describe it,
Could it be?
it was like a construction site, I guess. Construction site.
Serious.
I mean, I could just be making that up. I only just barely heard anything. Then you definitely made it up. Must have just been the sound of the ocean in that head of yours. Say what? What you talking about, Toko?
Here you go. Guarantee you. It's Junko, you guys.
They're reintroducing Junko, yep.
Look out for the crown and bear. Bears.
Mm-hmm. He's arrived.
I love the Monokuma theme so much. It's so good. So good.
It's a dumb theme, though. What Hero heard wasn't the sound of construction, but it could have been an explosion. Huh? Or maybe a machine gun. That can kind of sound like construction in a way. What are you talking about? Beyond this point, my mouth is zipped, my lips are sealed, I am fully puckered. It's a secret little secret.
And
Fine, then let's just move on to what you can tell us. Why did you call us here?
say what?
You don't beat around the old bush, do ya? Ready for me to get to the point, huh?
You please?
But before that, you mind if I vent a little? I am low on energy these days. My stitching's even losing all its shine and luster. I'm thinking it's probably because of this ho-hum boring old everyday life. I'm looking for something with a little more stimulation. Something rife with danger and intrigue. Listen, can I just be frank? The next Blackened hasn't shown up yet, and I'm getting bored. So I decided to come up with a new way to motivate you. Motivate? Is this another set of videos or something? Are you gonna show us some demented thing to try and drive us all to murder? Drive you to murder? What a mean thing to say, just awful. I don't know what you've got planned, but we're not going to kill each other anymore.
Except maybe Bakia.
No matter what you do, I swear to God we won't. That's very big talk. Do your very best to back it up, okay? Now then, with your permission, let me begin. So, this time it's embarrassing memories and secrets. As long as you're alive, it's a given that there's things you don't want other people to know about you. So I did a little investigating of my own and dug up some of your darkest secrets.
And those embarrassing memories and secrets are all contained in the envelopes I have right here. I'm going to hand them out now, so take a second to take a peek.
As Monokuma spoke, he tossed the envelopes at our feet. Quickly snatched the envelope with my name written on it. Nervously pulled out what was written inside. My entire body suddenly went rigid. Makoto went to bed and
Wet the bed.
until he was in 5th grade. Hey, Pie. 3838? Chicken turtle love. What? How? How'd you find out about this? Everyone started talking at once. You have 24 hours if someone doesn't become blackened by then. All your deepest, darkest, most embarrassingest secrets will be exposed to the world. Maybe I'll roll by a crowded intersection in a van strapped with loudspeakers and spill the beans. Yeah, wouldn't that be so embarrassing? So that's what you meant by motivate? Yep, you got it. They're all pretty unpleasant, trust me. None of you want to reveal that stuff, right? It's definitely something I'd rather people not know, but we'd never kill over something like that. Why'd you say? He is right. Your plan is doomed to fail. No one's gonna murder someone for this kind of thing. Oh no. It's because, for better or worse, your memory is still a way to connect to the outside world. I have stuff I wouldn't want anyone to know no matter what, so I assumed you would all be the same. Which is why I put so much effort into preparing this next motive. Man, you're saying you really won't kill each other over this stuff? That just sucks. Well, what can you do? Okay then, 24 hours, I'll expose your secrets just to make myself feel a little better.
Okay.
So sad, so depressed. Fare not well. With an almost convincing look of depressed dejection on his face, Monokuma receded into the gym's depths.
So,
I didn't know what to expect at first, but maybe we dodged a bullet on this one. Venomous Pup, I'm watching a different streamer right now. Well, hello. Oh yeah, Chicken Turtle Love, because he posted that last time.
Yeah, I
right?
assumed that was him.
I forgot about it until...
He's got like 6 different accounts.
Yeah, having those secrets revealed is gonna be totally embarrassing. But that's seriously not enough to give someone a reason to kill, right?
Listen to me.
Good news, everyone! I have a brilliant idea! Why don't we just confess the secrets in those envelopes right here and
Man,
now?
I had a feeling one of them was gonna be like, hey, guess what? I did blank.
If we do that, any and all motive for murder will vanish. That's pretty smart, right?
Quiet down and listen.
Okay, so my embarrassing thing is... I don't want to hear your stupid story. What? Besides, I don't want to talk about it. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't want to talk about mine.
As for me,
Neither do I. Not because it isn't pleasant, but because it is impossible.
oh,
Well, it's just human nature to want to hear it when you say it's impossible. Come on, it'll be good for you. Absolutely not.
Why don't you tell us then?
It's okay, just a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. As I said,
here we go. Hey,
I said I don't want to talk about it, you human bag of lard.
I love it. Whew, yes.
Did I miss something, or do they know the secret? The secrets are in the envelopes.
They know their own secret.
They know their own secrets,
that
but
he
that
found. They know what secret they found about themselves.
yes, because otherwise they don't know what dirt they have on them. Yeah.
By the way, hi.
Hello.
Do you like my presents that you got me? I like how I have not taken this collar off. Like I adjusted the like tightness, but like it doesn't even match my outfit, and I'm still wearing the ears and the collar. I love them.
I agree with them. There's no need to discuss it. What do you think, Chihiro?
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone.
so,
If you don't want to talk, you don't have to. I'm not super excited to talk about it either.
That's true.
If everyone's that much against it, even if my bro's the one that suggested it, I gotta say no. Well, that's okay then. Either way, if it's just a few secrets, I'm sure nobody's about to kill anybody over it. I hope you're right. A secret's so bad you'll kill someone to keep it. Nobody's got something like that, right? Right?
Right?
Sweating? Okay. Okay, I'll stop with all the secret talk, but each of us has 24 hours to get ready. Having our secrets exposed isn't going to be fun, but it's not like we're gonna die because of it. So, don't do anything hasty. I think the envelopes are empty, and it's just a ploy to make them have this convo.
No, they
literally opened them up and saw their own personal secret inside the envelope. The way you keep repeating it kind of makes me worry even more. Oh, okay. Sorry, I know it's gonna be tough, but... Bong, bing, bong. Didn't miss it this time. It's now 10 p.m.
this is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Nighttime already, huh? Okay, let's all call it a day.
Of course.
Good idea. We need to prepare for tomorrow. I was left with an anxiety that I couldn't shake. We left things as they were and left things as they lay. One by one, we headed back to our rooms.
When's Junko coming back?
Secrets or memories you don't want anyone to know about. A way to connect to the outside world. Honestly, all that crap Monokuma was spouting didn't have an effect on me. There's no way anyone would kill over stuff like that. At least that's what I thought. Maybe I was just being optimistic. Which is probably why, with too much of a struggle. Means I'm more tired than usual. Super tired today. Stabbed. I fell asleep. What I didn't know is that even then, a tragedy was taking place. Our secret was that we wet the bed until we were in 5th grade. Hey, do you have a second? I want to confide in you. It's about the prevailing world attitude right now. The difference between passive and active, I mean. For example, the difference between, like, oops, I killed him, and yeah, that's right, I killed him. Amazingly, there are a ton of people who don't understand the difference. Can you believe it? There's a huge difference between oops and that's right. You know what I'm saying, right? Anyone can kill someone in the heat of the moment, but surprisingly few can do it with calculated intent. To make that choice, then put it into action, it's way harder than just letting your emotions lead you. That's all about preparation, resolve. So maybe you're wondering, what's the point I'm trying to make?
Well, I'm not totally sure myself. Maybe you should try reading between the lines.
Interesting.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning!
Monokuma, what the hell are you doing in my room?
Why us? Like,
Nice reaction! I'm glad to see you didn't disappoint. What are you doing here? Wanted to spice things up, so instead of a school announcement, I decided to wake you up in person. The hell for? Because it's fun. And as long as I'm here, I figured I'd let you hear it right from the bear's mouth. Hear what? Are you sure you should be acting this laid back? I mean, even though something happened to one of your buddy classmates? What?
Say what?
What? Your face is all blue, like someone on the verge of death. What happened? What are you talking about? That's for me to know and you to find out. Good luck. Things happened to someone? Was it? No, it can't be. No way someone would. What if? No, what ifs are pointless, especially now when... Dining hall. I need to go to the dining hall. Makoto, are you okay?
Hey.
Did Monokuma talk to you too? Hiro, Hina, Sakura, and... Byakuya. You're the only one here? You're the only ones here? Where's everyone else? Either they're already off trying to verify what Monokuma said, or they've fallen victim to the something that Monokuma mentioned. Something?
Perhaps.
I hate the saying, for me to know and for you to find out. Like, yeah, but if you tell me, then I've found out. It can't be.
that's fair.
It can't be. Has it happened again? Murder? After hearing what Monokuma had to say, the worst possibility forced its way into my mind. It took everything I had to drive that thought away. So if something really did happen, that means someone did it because of what happened yesterday?
Huh?
Can't be. This stuff was just a bunch of old memories. Just old memories? Don't be so sure about that. Clearly, someone felt it was more important than that. Uh-huh. To judge someone else's values based on your own outlook. Do you realize how dangerous that is?
What the heck?
Why didn't you say something yesterday?
Naturally.
Did you already forget this isn't a co-op game? It's every man for himself. What good does it do me to go out of my way to help you?
Just the worst.
Stop saying that already. There's something wrong with him, for serious. Did he get brainwashed or something?
Wait.
That's not important. What matters right now is that we find out what happened.
That's fine.
She's right, you know. Let's all split up and begin looking. The game's afoot.
Great.
I think the only time that the phrase "for me to know and you to find out" can accurately be used is in a murder game scenario like this.
Oh, I was thinking presents.
I mean, that as well, but... Knocked on all the doors, but nobody answered. Did they all go see what happened? Oh. Then what about the second floor of the school? That's the one place that's new to all of us, so it seems like natural places for... Ooh. Whoa. Oh. Whoa.
Yo.
Hey, Makoto. Honestly, what do you think? Uh-huh. About what?
For serious.
About Byakuya. Think he's been brainwashed or what? I don't know. You know more about that kind of thing than me, right? What? What's that supposed to mean? Well, I mean, you're some kind of psychic, right?
Hey.
Listen, Makoto, I think you completely misunderstood what it is I do. Okay, listen, fortune telling is like... It's totally different from brainwashing or hypnosis or any of that pseudo-scientific bullcrap. Need you understand that. So you expect me to think fortune telling isn't pseudoscience? Sorry, but I don't want to get yelled at.
There we gonna try to talk to everyone, or are we actually gonna?
I'm more or less beelining for the second floor right now.
Fair. We all know that's where it's gonna be.
There's like 2 locations. They did also say that gunfire was going off, so like
Fair.
I figured this gun may have fired. Is that a real gun? Something like that in here. Missed the last few streams. Is Danny from Game Grumps a psychic?
Yes. Yes, he is.
The door's open, but aren't these supposed to be locked? Ding dong bing bong.
For this investigation, I have unlocked the doors. Please look around to your heart's content.
Interesting.
Investigation?
Clear now.
Just as I thought. Byakuya!
I see.
Judging from what he said, there can be no doubt a murder really has taken place. Come on! In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room. He was muttering as if talking only to himself. Without waiting for a reply, he pressed his hand against the girls' locker room door. And the door swung open without a sound. In that moment, time seemed to freeze. Dead body. Oh no! What? I don't know how long it took for me to fully comprehend the reality of what I was looking at. But as soon as I did...
Here's the thing. I expected Sayaka. We all expected Sayaka. We all saw that one coming.
I kind of suspected seeing her as soon as she was like, as soon as I can get stronger, I'll tell my secret. But yeah. This is technically the second murder. This is the 4th student dead out of 15.
A body has been discovered.
Deadly life. Danganronpa. Yeah, so it goes from daily life to deadly life afterward. Hello, Matthew Peterson. Welcome out to the stream. I'd like to suppress my screaming, but it was useless. It surged out of me like water from a spring gushing out of the ground. Byakuya, on the other hand.
Very strange.
Most unusual, don't you think? He was totally calm. Almost like he was watching this all unfold in front of a TV screen.
I see.
Look, Chihiro's corpse has been suspended somehow. And something's written on the wall in blood. Bloodlust. Such a brutal way to kill someone. No, this is beyond brutal. Wouldn't you agree? They killed her. How could it not be brutal? Was it a suicide or just made to look like one? How could somebody suicide themselves by, like, hanging their already dead corpse between 2 workout equipment things?
Yeah.
No, that's not my point. The murder is far too bizarre for any everyday amateur to have committed it.
Yeah, this isn't someone just killed you and left your body. This is a statement piece.
Unlike with Sayaka, this murder was not a crime of passion or necessity. It's almost as if whoever did this did it for fun. You see what I mean, don't you? What? My head is swimming. It was like, I was still reeling too. Confused to understand what he was trying to say. Before I could even begin to clear my head.
What the heck?
Hey, I heard screaming! Did something... Just gonna let that happen?
Yep.
Oh, it's, there we go. It's, Venomous Pup again.
Told you he has like 6 accounts.
Yeah, I know. Ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. That's not right.
Yeah, it was a different sound too.
Yeah, it was a different sound.
A body has been discovered.
My favorite line. I don't know why.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Oh boy, more class trials.
Of course.
The hell was that? Oh, that's right, you were unconscious during Sayaka's. So you don't know about it. What you just heard was the body discovery announcement. Apparently when 3 or more people discover a body, an announcement plays to let everyone know. I imagine it's so that the search for the culprit can proceed fairly for everyone involved. Proceed fairly? The body discovery announcement? Then Chihiro really is? Dead, yes. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Popper. Before you start screaming your head off, go around everyone up. It seems another game has begun. Another life or death game to uncover a killer. Taka bolted out of the locker room. Everyone made their way to the scene. It felt as if no time had passed at all. It was like my sense of time had just taken wing and flown away. When I finally came back to myself, I saw everyone had the same look of confusion, fear, and anger. We all just stood there, gathered around Chihiro's body.
Damn.
I couldn't keep her safe. So there's another victim. Which means we are now in the same position once again. What are you doing?
They're silicone, don't worry.
What the?
Or why?
Yay! Because they're cute. Look at them. They're adorable. I love them though.
Nice. I just don't want to wear them right now.
Yes.
The fuck is this? It's a
Feels
dream.
like my
This is a
outfit.
dream. It's all just a dream. In fact, we haven't been born yet. What? You have tails.
Yeah.
I make a badass elf. I have my own elf ears somewhere
Ear.
around here. No, I have both of them still. I think they're separated currently, but I have both of them still. Shut up. Let's investigate. So there's there's more important things to worry about right now than a dumbbell. No, that dumbbell has blood on it. Is this Chihiro's blood? No, there are more important things to worry about right now.
Okay,
Like
click the
like
body
what?
then. Click the body.
Hey.
Wait, look at the wall. These letters on the wall. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood.
So,
I don't think this is any kind of dying message. It's just too strange. What do we want for fan art?
Dude, Chihiro. Before she died. Like,
Yeah,
a
dude.
cute little baby girl.
Dude, Chihiro before she was murdered.
Be cute. Not right before she's murdered. Don't draw the murder. Draw her cute.
But you know, that thing about writing bloodlust in blood, doesn't that sound kind of familiar? A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. At the scene of each crime, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. Like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what's the nickname that did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. Genocide Jack, the murderous fiend whose
The
grisly
16th
attacks were
person.
famous all across the world. The ultimate murderous fiend, creating a reputation of abnormal, downright cruel killings.
The 16th person.
And this is some copycat killer trying to imitate Genocide Jack's style. But aren't there only supposed to be 15 people?
But there's a 16th spot.
Oh yeah, there was a 16th spot at the table, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
But why would anyone have to do that? Perhaps it's the work of the real Genocide Jack. Wait, are you saying Genocide Jack is here in the school?
no way.
But going so far as to write bloodlust, it would seem, I'm surprised at their stupidity. Can't imagine a worse situation than dealing with a stupid murderer. Toko. Hino is pointing towards the entrance to the girls' locker room. Toko was the last to arrive, and now she was just standing there. You know, why? Why?
You think she
Gadunk.
showered yet?
She fainted. That did not sound good. Toko. Hina rushed over to the collapsed Toko and started trying to shake her awake. Toko, are you okay? Come on, wake up.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. I just remember what she said about how she faints anytime she sees blood.
Oh.
So she's hemophobic. I imagine she does not watch too many horror films then.
I imagine she's on some hella birth control, though.
This isn't a violation of the rules, right? I mean, technically she passed out somewhere besides a room. No, I think that should be okay. The regulations prohibit sleeping, like on purpose. Ah, so since she didn't faint on purpose, it doesn't count? Gotcha. As if she'd heard Toko suddenly shot awake. As in, she literally jumped up from where she was laying. Such a strange reaction, I was at a total loss for words. She jumped straight up into the air, changing her stance as she did. In no time flat, she was just standing up. Ignoring the physical contortions she had to go through, her motions were totally haphazard. What? Sorry about that. I was just so shocked, you know? It happens, right? Was I the only one? Doko, are you okay? I'm fine, I'm fine. Yeah. What, was that a dead body? Hey, are you dead?
What the heck?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world was a front and back, a top inning and bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
Oh.
She's got a multi-personality.
She has borderline personality disorder.
And she's Genocide Jack, probably.
Probably.
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different. No, everything's fine. At least the stutter's all gone. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, she's BPD.
It's clear to me that everything's not fine. Your eyes seem strangely vacant. Might be best if we take her back to her room for the time being. I don't mind taking her, but could someone help me? If you need help, I don't mind. Taka, could you help me? She totally ignored me. Very well, you take care of the girl, and the rest of us can begin the investigation right away. Can I assume...
Dissociative identity disorder is the correct term, DID.
Can I assume nobody has a problem leaving Sakura and Mondo on guard duty again? Hold on a second. Rushing to an investigation? The mastermind isn't behind that. What happened last time, surely you realize.
Don't make me repeat
There's no
myself.
question that Chihiro was murdered by someone among us. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Of course.
Right as rain! But don't take it as a bad thing, it's just a fact of life. Because that's how graduation works! Then it happened again. Is that what you're saying? That another one of us killed a fellow classmate. That, what? Does that freak you out? You guys got no balls, you know that? Is there just nothing down there at all? Well, I'll let you pray to mine if you want. Actually, I don't have any either, sorry. Stop monologuing and give us what you came here to give us. You did bring it, right? I sure did, chum. The Monokuma file.
File.
I know how much you must be looking forward to it.
See ya later.
So please do your very tippy-top best on this investigation.
No way.
We really gotta do another investigation?
Every time.
Examining the corpse of one of our friends. Having to suspect all of our other friends.
Why?
I hate this. I can't take it anymore. I hate it too. I've had enough. I'm getting out of here. Where do you plan on going? There's nowhere to run. Just accept it already. After all, blood is just a liquid. A dead body is a simple object. You are very enthusiastic about all this, are you not?
Naturally.
How can I not be? If we don't unmask the culprit, we all die. That's true, but jumped into it so soon. What? Do you want to die? Fine then, go off and die somewhere. Right now. Go ahead, you're a waste of space.
Damn you!
Dead body is an object? Chihiro wasn't an object. Show a little respect or I'll beat some into you.
Calm down.
Everyone stop bickering. Listen, there's some truth in what Byakuya said. Kyoko!
Because
If we don't solve the mystery and find the killer, our own lives are forfeit. And if Byakuya is right that Genocide Jack is somehow the one who killed Chihiro,
that's right.
then unless we do something, more victims can start piling up. Forget more victims. If we mess this up, we're all dead meat.
Hey!
Hold on. If that's your worry, you don't gotta worry any longer. In any one killing game, the guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people.
Interesting.
What? I don't remember a rule like that.
Actually,
I just came up with it. I mean, if one person went around and killed everyone, your lovely student life would be all over, right? Which means if any of them at the very beginning had decided to go full Nagisa, they technically would have won.
Can't prove nothing. They all dead.
Yep. Can't prove nothing if they all dead.
That's not really how it. All right.
Yeah. All right. Which one of you am I start? Or does he say like, all right, I'm starting with you first or something like
Yeah.
that?
After Taka says something about, this is not how you act in a school.
Yeah, this is not. He's like, this is not appropriate.
School something.
School demeanor. With all right, I'm starting with you first.
So then.
In that case, why not limit it to one person? Well, in a good mystery, you don't want to miss out on at least the potential of a serial killer angle. Just one would totally murder that possibility. Farewell for now. I'll catch you guys at the class trial. Can't say I understand his thinking, but if we can kill up to 2 people, then one more person's life could still be in danger. Which is definitely not good. We need to uncover the culprit before something else happens.
You son of a bitch.
You need to shut the fuck up. You need to fuck the shuck up. Well, for now, Taka and me are gonna drop Toko off at her room. Nice. I'm gonna get dropped off.
There is nothing to be done.
We have no time to stand around here. We must begin our investigation. Toot sweet.
She's DID. No, she's 100% DID.
If we do not solve the mystery of who killed Chihiro,
Is that okay?
then we will quickly follow her into the afterlife.
Want her to step on me.
It's true. I hate this, but if I want to survive, me and everyone else, we have to do it. We don't have any other choice.
I really have no idea who could have done it.
I mean, I'm sure we will figure that out as we go.
But like, that's fair. Do you have any guesses for now?
Better check the Monokuma file to see exactly what's going on. My guess is one of the male students.
Okay.
Specifically because they heard the gunfire go off. Which would have mean that a male student went into the female locker room, and that's why the gun fired.
Okay, that makes sense.
If the gun fired at all.
Yeah.
So I think it might be one of the male students who done it.
Cool.
And if Genocide Jack is an actual person, and Genocide Jack is a boy, hence the name Jack, then...
Yeah.
But then they wouldn't have had a list of things they liked.
Yeah?
Genocide Jack might be a person in the game, but if that's the case, then they can't be the killer this time around.
Yeah.
Because we never got a chance to hang out with them.
Yeah.
If
Unless
it
that
was-
really is her other personality.
Maybe. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room
Identity.
on the 2nd floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. That's all it says. Well, it's not like any point in complaining about it. No matter what, I gotta do what I gotta do. Monokuma file number 2 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Hey, Makoto, do you have a second? Tired of talking to you, Byakuya. I don't like doing your voice. Uh-huh. Did you need something from me?
Naturally.
Of course.
Natural.
Life without purpose is quite dull, you know? So what did you need? I'm going to let you cooperate with me during my investigation.
Why?
What?
I'm purchasing your talent, the same talent which allowed you to solve Sayaka's case. Solve? No, I
Stop
just...
talking.
You seem to have some limited use, which is why I've chosen you. You have the honor of contributing to my investigation. So you're inviting me to come with you. You're doing it in the most arrogant way possible, though.
Let's go.
Now then, shall we get started? But we need to get moving. There's no time to be standing around. I don't really know what just happened, but it looks like I'll be working with Byakuya on this one.
Boo.
There's a dumbbell on the floor, and this is a bloodstain. There's a bloodstain on the dumbbell. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Naturally is the worst catchphrase. It annoys me and has nothing of interest. Does that mean this Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Locker room dumbbell has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's a fresh bloodstain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with the blood during the murder. I want to know what's going on with this, because there's definitely like an F written on this lady's face.
Yeah?
Unless it's just blood splatter that went up and behind.
Maybe.
Poster's got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder.
Well, she was obviously on that machine. That's the one she was on.
Yeah, she was training and then something
Yeah.
happened. Feel like draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body.
Very strange.
The more I look, the stranger it all seems. This must be Genocide Jack's handiwork. Well, but we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. What else can
Go ahead, click the words again. You never know.
The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. Murderer just comes blood and knocked out one before leaving. Gross. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going every inch of the lifeless body. You're a very strange woman, you know, being able to touch a dead bunny with absolutely no trouble. Seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. Use this locker room all the time. Now, it's become a site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker
I
room?
use this locker room all the time. It's been a day, sweetie.
Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than carried here.
No.
She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still. I still think she came here on her own, by choice. What makes you say that? She's been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying she came here to exercise? According to the Monokuma file, apparently it was killed around 2 in the morning. She really been exercising that late? Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we investigated her and invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us, and instead she came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However,
No, she looks light, but how does this woman know she's light?
Well, the girl's like a foot shorter than everybody.
And like this big around.
She is about this big around.
Perhaps, but it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. They're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she also would have come with someone else. That's a possibility, I think. Sakura's account has been added to the truth bullet section of the book. Dude had a real complex. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talking about it, right? I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. Cause of Chihiro's complex. Can't help but wondering what it might be. The fact that Chihiro was a boy all along.
That would explain the gun going off.
For her trying to get into the locker
Girls'
room.
locker room.
Which is also why she didn't want to come with everybody else. Because she didn't want to, like, notify.
Everybody that she was trans. Is the word we're still going with. We're going with trans.
Or she moved her corpse. Now I believe it's about time for us to move on. Huh? Already? New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but if you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. Got caught up with the wrong person this time. I'd like to go into the... Well, first off, I'd like to check the gun. So this is our next location. Huh? This place is related to the investigation?
Yeah, gun went off.
Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? Gun. If this gun is used to... No, impossible. If that were true, Chihiro would have been riddled with holes. If I remember right, the card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
did you call for me?
Has he been domesticated?
Right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You'd only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed on your individual handbook.
Okay.
Gender listed.
Okay.
It's impossible for 2 people in a row to go through while the door's unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there were some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter. And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct? Correctly correct. So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room, and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means, "Hey Makoto, I can see right through you." See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So in other words,
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited, but not stealing one.
Yeah.
Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You treat me like a puny little appetizer instead of a main course that I am.
I'm a whole ass meal. I ain't just a snack.
Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things. Get it? Got it. Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying there's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it, so, So sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together. Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest on your damned self.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. Card reader's been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Which means anybody could have done it if they stole somebody else's handbook.
Mm-hmm.
We came to the main hall. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I'll figure it out myself? Guns? Surveillance camera. Well, there's something that I can only assume is a gun attached to it, so it's so chilling. The hunk of metal blocking the entrance seems like a kind of machine. Surveillance camera, yep. Mailbox? The mailbox here. Could be something inside. It's an e-handbook. No, wait, there's 3 of them. Oh, the 3 murdered kids.
Huh.
So you finally found them. Huh? Did you know they were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. Seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka? You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. Immediately turned to one of the handbooks, and when I did... Sayaka Miyazono. You're right, this is Sayaka's handbook. Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. Yes, we were literally just listening to it! I see. Yeah, now I understand. Main Hall E-handbooks have been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
What?
Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Strange.
Strange, one of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. Then the one that won't turn on must be
I
Leon's.
see.
He was the blackened.
He was.
After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs.
Fair.
Pummeled with
That
baseballs.
still is just dark.
Memory ever came flooding back.
That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death.
The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. I wouldn't be surprised for the handbook to break during that kind of assault, except that except that the handbooks are strong enough to take a bullet. Didn't they mention that originally?
I think so.
Hey! What? Any handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental. A super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily. Yeah, Leon was ousted as the Blackened in the last trial for killing Sayaka. And that led to his execution being based on the fact that he was the ultimate baseball star. So he got strapped up in front of a pitching machine, and the pitching machine shot him with 1,000 baseballs until he died.
That thing's heavy. felt one too.
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. I can withstand up to 10 tons of... I probably can too. And it's waterproof to hold up to 100 meters, okay? No matter how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't do crap. Oh, but even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you.
But it's a secret. Wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing that what its weakness was, right? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken. But you might ask, how could that be?
I do ask that.
Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's undeniable the fact that it's not turning on. Except, what if somebody else's handbook broke and they grabbed Leon's instead? Then, without thinking, they tried to get into the girls' locker room because they're a girl with a boy's locker handbook now, and the gun fired.
Huh. But someone would have been Swiss
fine.
cheese.
True. It's an awful way to die.
Yeah.
Throws up. But I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. I found the connection to the case. Think so? Either way, something that still bothers me. Broken e-handbook has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, then this should be tough. This should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track back down the true culprit.
We can't
Yeah,
expect
we can
all of
find out
them
who
to be
killed
as easy
Chihiro.
as the first. The first one was easy as hell.
Huh? Not quite. Yeah, I think that broken handbook actually belongs to the more waiting to be checked. What? What do you mean by that, Byakuya? Exact, not quite. Certainly, I want to reveal Chihiro's secret a bit more precisely. I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you really think, you truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
make me repeat
Absolutely.
myself.
I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. The murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right? There's nobody else it could be. Murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious killer? Yep. Okay, he's killed thousands of people, but that's got to be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented, psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But words mean little right now. I have something that that will prove it, and I can show you. What do you mean by that? Ah. And I have basis to believe that I assure you. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you
all
need.
clear.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence to something like that, really? Ah, hey, you too. Big trouble, need your help.
I don't have time to
We're
play
busy,
with you.
leave us alone. But it's an emergency, emergency. Come on, please, you gotta help me. What do you got for me, Aoi? It's a serious emergency, please, you gotta help me. Just calm down, okay, Hina? But it's an emergency. Emergency, what happened? Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. Suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. You sure?
Don't make me repeat.
Don't make me repeat.
myself.
Okay. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no. Discord, baby, one
I
more
love
time.
when she grabs her collar.
Let's see here. Do I have Discord pulled up? I don't. Discord.
Oh, I love her.
It's a little Chihiro.
I love her. What a good.
See if I can't pull up a bigger
What
picture.
a good. Oh, look at that kitty mouse. I love her.
There she is. It's Chihiro.
Baby.
She's a cutie.
What
And
about?
now she's dead.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's more?
No, those are like all of the old ones that are dead,
Oh,
isn't
okay.
it? Oh no, yeah, it's just it's the same picture of Chihiro over and over
What?
again.
Okay.
It's just he was trying to get a good angle.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wait for us, Hina.
Go.
Looks like we're headed to Toko's room. Is Toko outside? Some kind of emergency? What do you got for me, Aoi? You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So what is this emergency? Well, after what happened to the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, to see how she's doing, but when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out. And she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try and talk to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. May as well give it a shot. Door swung open, slowly and silently. Holy crap. An aura of negativity flowed out of from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me. What?
Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
Leave me alone.
She's got the stutter again.
Yeah, sure thing. But, could you open up, just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control.
Yep. Yep, she's DID.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face.
Yep.
What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. Couldn't even budge it. Doko was scared enough to even bar her door. Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared? Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Who does Toko like? Oh, Byakuya.
Byakuya.
She likes Byakuya.
Byakuya, do the thing.
Hey, Byakuya, you think you could ask her to come out of her room, I mean?
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna do it? Talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. A few moments.
What do you want?
Leave me alone, you're all so annoying. Bakula? Scott Bakula?
It's Byakuya.
Couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
Here's what happens. Here's what happened last night. Here's what happened. Someone knows she's DID. They are 100% framing her. That is 100% what is happening right here. Because she didn't do it. I know she could not have done it.
There's nothing else we can do.
Because
Let's go
story.
back to the investigation.
I don't know how. I don't know how I know she didn't do it.
Talking about just now. Something about a promise? Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. If I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh yeah, I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! I hurried to catch up. I really do feel like in these first couple of murders, they're really trying to hold your hand.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because, like, I kind of just want to be able to walk around and do my own thing.
Fair.
And it doesn't feel like I'm allowed to go anywhere except for exactly where they want me to.
Yeah.
Finally, his feet brought him to in front of a certain room. The library. Come, let's go in. Extension cable's unplugged. There are no clues here. You can check elsewhere.
Archives room. Check the door to the archives room.
Oh, this is?
Heck yeah. Yep.
It's the archive, right? We have to go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
Well, makes sense once you're inside.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can click on in this room. So. Very messy.
Oh, there's so many books and files. So much dust,
So
too.
in other words,
Say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. The wooden box. Yeah, it's empty. That's where the
That's
power.
where the-
that's the
yeah.
extension cable was. Though judging by the smudges, it looks like there was something inside. Wonder what it was. There's an extension cord plugged in there. It proved useful while I was in the library. Extension cord, huh? Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
what?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before when I moved it over here. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Ladder. Aw, didn't let me click on the... You have a sharp eye indeed.
That's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept in the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. You sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. For making a sound, I return the file to the shelf. Is there anything else on this side that I could look at? Not really. I guess I gotta talk to Byakuya then.
There's something behind him.
Well, it's just the shelves. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you'll be able to discover the value yourself. Okay? Ton of thick files stuffed to the bookshelf. If you think about looking through all of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. The kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. All those files are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. So many files.
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous. They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power, the secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let go for now. So, you finally beginning to understand the splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It is home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guy's problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that, it's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? Suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps, the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use, I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible. What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple, those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything.
You don't pull your punches, do you?
Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think that your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times. And you've read all these documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, so why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So in other
I already
words,
told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. To become such a ruler, I must know all levels of the worlds backwards and forwards.
Okay.
So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little.
I know I was excited about Danganronpa, but like I'm so tired of him.
Yeah, I'm very, very tired of
Like,
Byakuya. Among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked to Byakuya, grabbed a specific file from the shelf. This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack case has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is at the crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. The second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save you a surprise, the best part is yet to come. The second characteristic where the victims are suspended. The only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and the other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself would know about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion.
I'm gonna be honest. She got a killer petticoat though.
For it to be just
Like,
constantly
yeah,
fluffed
for
like
her
that?
to have the cupcake shape, yeah, she got a killer petticoat.
Genocide
I'd
Jack
ask
might
where
not
she
have.
got it, but she also is this big, and they probably don't sell my size anyway.
So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in other
The culprit
words-
isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us?
interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Ignorance.
To get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself.
There's something in the top right corner. I don't know if
It's a camera.
Okay, I was wondering if it was a camera or not. Okay, yeah. Last thing in here.
For now, I think I'd rather not. Can I look at anything in here now, or do
I mean, you can still look at it, but nothing interesting is gonna happen. Oh, what?
Yeah, I gotta check the thing with the cold
Oh.
cases.
Okay, right.
I guess I just have to talk directly with him, or is it these files right here? Is that a thick file stuffed in the bookshelf? Different cold cases. Okay, yes. Just want to talk to you then. Can we see it?
That's
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay. Feel free to look at it in here. Can't take it out. Murder cases of Genocide Jack, top secret. Okay, handed me the file and I flipped through the tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I reached the page where photos from the scene of the crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on several pages, except all of these people are suspended by scissors, not
Yep,
not a
rope.
blunt object and rope. Yeah, every last one of these victim suffered multiple stab wounds across his body, revealed to have been inflicted with the same scissors that were later used to attach the victim to the wall. Yeah, if every single thing was scissors, then they wouldn't have used a blunt object to kill. All the killers were killed and suspended in the exact same way. And the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit. I hadn't seen the character's face yet. He basic and hella cute. Oh yeah, the
He
main
is
character.
basic, but I mean, main character.
All the crimes took place either on weekdays, at night, or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingering at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely that there was an external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests suspect dissociative identity disorder.
You're welcome.
So in
You are
other
welcome,
words-
boys and girls. She has been framed. She has been framed.
The key point here is that the culprit
hope-
may
I hope
well have a split personality. The personality, like the kind you see on TV. So I'm part of any other total unbelievable story, but this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file's been added to the book.
Let's go.
Get going.
Okay,
Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We've finished our business here, haven't we?
Here is the real question. She's not the one doing the killing. Are they still going to kill the body she's in?
I mean...
If it was her other personality, that's not her.
mm,
She is not conscious during that. That is a completely separate part of the brain that is activated.
Yeah, but it was still her that did it.
That's fair.
Just because you have multiple personalities doesn't mean it's not still you.
That's fair.
This is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial.
I don't have time
Come
to
on.
play with you.
Enough of your annoying misinterpretations. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own. Finally.
Feel this. That is heavy.
Not really.
I mean,
Not
yeah.
not as heavy as I thought you were making it out to sound.
You've worn necklaces before.
Yeah.
This is comparatively heavier.
For my necklace.
I guess that's fair.
So like, that's really not that heavy for a necklace.
It might also be the fact that it's so large.
It's very large, which is a thing,
Yeah.
and it's also not hanging, it's attached.
Yeah.
You've also spent a lot of time doing this.
Yeah.
You've been pulling on the chain. Girls' locker room, I should check on the boys' locker room too. The others might have come up with some info that might be useful. Need to find everything I can. Yeah, I want to check the boys' locker. I've been wanting to check the boys' locker room since we entered here. And I wanted to check the boys' locker room for a while. They changed the poster out entirely. This poster must have been the one in the women's room.
Yeah.
Because the men's poster,
Was in the women's room. Yeah. Interesting.
popular boy band called Tornado, somehow doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. Oh, and there's like a gross stain on the floor.
Interesting.
There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Boys' locker room carpet has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
It's shit.
Is there anything else worth investigating in the boys' locker room right now? Not really. Let's go into the pool. Nothing particularly interesting in here.
There's nothing.
Well, I want to definitely go back to the women's room then
Yeah.
and check on the fact that the posters were swapped. And I guess if, at some point we'll eventually talk to Hifumi. We didn't really inspect the fact that there were some weights on the floor right there, but yeah, I want to re-inspect this blood-stained poster. The blood is almost noteworthy. Big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Oh, wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That's right. There's definitely something strange about this. The boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? That reason, what reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. 2 locker room posters have been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook. So somebody...
She was killed in the boys' locker room and then dragged here. This was staged.
Let's turn the carpet. Yeah, I can't get anything new out of her.
You can always get something new out of her.
You've made any progress on the investigation, generally speaking, but I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
Well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder.
so then.
Before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts. That is, I'll be praying for your success. There where stain is probably cleaned up. Blood.
Yep.
Yep. Chihiro's handbook is missing. They're definitely worth worrying about. Chihiro's e-handbook has been added to the truth bullet section. Because Chihiro's is the one that's messed up.
Yeah.
The broken one, or something.
Yeah.
Examine the body one more time, thoroughly, but I do have... Well, I'll give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position.
That's an extension
The
cord.
rope
Yep.
has a plug? Wait, so then it isn't a rope at all. But more to think about, the more... the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. Right there's the issue of being suspended and the fatal blow. First, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does it all mean? Status of dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook. True nature of rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. To figure that out, there's a certain place I need to visit to look over again. Plus, it might help to look at Genocide Jack's case file one more time.
Okay. Look at the body. Don't actually click to look at the body. Look at the body.
Mm-hmm.
There's no blood on the floor underneath her. This was staged.
Yeah, there would at least be blood that had been leaked right here.
This was 100% staged.
I don't want to talk to you right now. Oh, I still have to discover more while I'm here. Even has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
Feel as if
Another stat increase from me. Evidence, what do you find? Can I reveal that just yet? But I guarantee you that if I will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. You sure about that? Yeah. Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Tell me what you see. She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies a boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where's Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. It's gotta... Let's, I guess, talk to the remaining people. I know that, yeah, I'll say these two are here to guard the body so nobody does anything to it. Been a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura? Used it nearly every day since I opened up. Sometimes Hina and I used it together. Hey, then let me ask you something. You think the poster in the boys' and girls' rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
I can't really say I never really paid attention to the posters. I see.
However,
There is something that has been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. Yeah, protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain. I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
Of course.
Exactly. Noticed it earlier, the stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain to begin with. Disappearing stain has been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook. Dude had a real complex about being weak. Yeah, we know about that part. I guess explains the trip down here. Yeah, we already read all of this. The rugs and the posters were switched so far.
Yeah.
Those are the two things we know so far. I wonder if I can reinvestigate the stain on the floor in this room and to like tie together that this has in fact that the rug itself is moved.
Yeah.
Strange stain on the carpet. Wait, what is it? Nope, nothing new to get from this. Is there a gun in the boys' room? There's not a gun in the ceiling of any room, except for this one. Okay, so there's two places that I should look.
And the front door. There's guns at the front door.
Yeah, there's guns at the front door and there's guns at the
Locker room.
At the locker room. Yeah, outside of the locker room, there's a gun. Yeah.
Wait,
What?
what if it was her? Because here's the thing. Thinking back, Monokuma said that the e-handbooks coincide with their gender, not their sex. Genocide Jack's a man.
Mm-hmm.
If she has DID, her other personality could be a man, 100%.
Yeah.
Which means the gender on her book could have switched when she switched.
When she became Genocide Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would have done something like that, can't think of any more but Byakuya. So the archive book is missing now.
Look at this lamp before you leave. It's supposed to have a word bullet.
Lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. I was trying to investigate the fact that the cord was missing, but right, Byakuya is using an extension cord. There's no extension cord now. I wonder if
There we
Library
go.
desk lamp has been added to the truth bullets.
That's all.
And then we want to go
I
talk
didn't
to
want to have to come all the way back.
Well, I knew I was supposed to look at it. I just couldn't figure out like where I was supposed to look to get it to identify.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't going through the way that it was supposed to.
That's why we have this.
You got anything to say, Taka? Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. But you know, it's all because it wasn't strong enough. She may have caused the murder to try and prevent the world from realizing that she was Genocide Jack.
Ooh.
Because that would have been her
That's
deep
probably
secret.
her secret, yep.
Celeste is supposed to be in here. Yeah, there she is. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case? I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might just misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I'll tell you and only you. Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What, really? This was right before nighttime. What are you doing?
Out this late?
Oh, she's...
Oh, I was just... Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Maybe you have a duffel
Because
bag.
I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks.
Blue track jacket.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
I still don't think that Genocide Jack did it. I
Oh
think
no, she's fully being
that,
framed.
I was gonna say, I think that maybe she is Genocide Jack, but I think that Byakuya did it and is framing Genocide Jack.
I feel it.
Because Byakuya is the only person that knew where to look for the archive files and knew everything about the Genocide Jack hanging case. And then wanted to get me to corroborate his story, so he told me about it. The problem was he wasn't expecting me to notice that Genocide Jack did it by stabbing people with scissors,
Yep.
not with blunt objects. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it appears she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room.
So were you?
If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. Apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. The strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which means the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Time to check the trash place.
But
Who's the trash king today?
I don't know. Oh wait, we're
Oh
down
wait,
here.
laundry. Laundry room first.
Since we're in the area, go to the dining hall. There's nothing there, but Aoi's in there.
Like his magazines, so nothing to do with the case. But if Aoi's in there, then where's Toko? Because Aoi was guarding Toko. Not guarding, but like trying to make sure that she was okay.
Maybe Toko's in there with her. I don't know. It just says Aoi's in there. You wanna check all those again? Check all of them, Paladin.
If they're gonna give me a bunch of coins for it, then I kind of have to, don't
Exactly. That's why I said check all of them. Oh,
I? I'm holding control to do that.
I said oh because we weren't getting coins.
Ah. And we got coins for 3 of them.
Yeah.
For 2 of them. Alright, so nothing in the laundry room. Let's check out the trash room. And we'll check out the dining hall while we're in the area. Yeah, I think it's a bit too on the nose for somebody to have
Do it a second
yeah,
time.
disposed of the trash in the trash room the exact same way that Leon did. Yeah, what are you doing here? Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? It was before, she won't come out, and she keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimming and I was getting pretty hungry. Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I get done eating. Because not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating? A donut, of course. Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really. I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Should have tried to spend more time with her.
We also should have tried to spend more time with her.
Who did she spend time with?
Well,
It was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Wasn't either of us. She stayed away from all of the girls. Was she just shy? No, she talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex but totally fine with the opposite sex? Maybe. If she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl.
I want guys to spoil me. Buy things off my wish list.
Ding dong bing bong. Wait, was that everything?
That was it.
Okay, so now it's time for investigation.
I'm getting
Yeah, I
tired
was
of
gonna,
waiting.
I was gonna scroll and I was like, well, there's no more. Because I was like, okay, what are we doing after we see Aoi? Nothing. We were doing nothing.
So I really haven't figured out what's going on.
You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door.
I don't know who it is right now. I have a couple of theories, but
either.
I straight up
Like,
don't
I
know
have
who
some-
it is right now.
Like, we know it's not Toko. We know it's not her. She's obviously being framed. Like, I'm convinced of it.
Can I
Who do you guys
save
think
really
did it?
quick?
If you know who did it, don't spoil it. If you don't know who did it, tell us who you think did it. Like, what I mean is, if you've played the game, don't tell us.
Mm-hmm. I'm not ready for this. So everyone's ready to what? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Toko's still not here.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is. You really don't remember? Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time. Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. Just like that. So he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. Told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. You're terrible. So now everyone's here, right? Okay, then hustle on to the elevator and let's get this show on the road. See you guys down there.
Let's go.
But who killed Chihiro? So calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her.
That's what made her easy to kill.
Someone made a choice to kill a girl like that.
Everyone
Remember,
liked
there's one of us.
Here's the thing. Everyone liked Chihiro, so no one knows who would kill her.
Movement Bob, no. Settings. I was just trying to see, I don't know what do you remember what level we set the puzzles at? If we, was there more than kind or mean, or are we on normal?
I think we're on normal. You usually pick normal.
I don't know if there was a normal this time.
Oh.
I know for sure I didn't choose mean.
They might let you choose once you get into the room. I don't remember.
I don't think that's the case. I think because we chose at the very beginning of the game. They set it to mean once during the thing, but that was it.
Well, you usually pick normal.
The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation, until finally came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated, isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. You rip raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it at all. Not at all. Okay, then let's get this show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats.
Alright. Here we go, boys.
Deadly
Here we
judgment, a
go.
deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yeah, let's do let's do another save. Set skills. I only have the one skill still, right?
I think so.
Because I haven't bothered getting anybody else's new skills. Yeah, I've got Melodious Voice and that's it.
Alright.
So what truth bullets do I have? the Monokuma file 2. Can I quick scroll through all of the trials? No, I can only check. Victim was Chihiro. Time of death was around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room, second floor. Cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly.
Okay.
Sakura's account. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room to late at night to avoid them. I know why the rooms were switched.
Why?
Because Chihiro was in the boys' locker room because her gender on her e-handbook is probably boy.
Okay.
And nobody else knows because obviously nobody else knows.
That was her secret.
That was her secret that she didn't want out.
That's why her tracksuit was blue.
That's why her tracksuit was blue and why she didn't want to work out with anybody else there. She did the thing where she pressed the handbook to the door and got into the boys' locker room and began working out. Byakuya came in after her, killed her with the weight, got blood on the carpet, and got blood on the poster. In order to make it look like Chihiro was in fact still a girl, he took Chihiro's handbook. And busted it.
Okay.
Took Leon's handbook and probably has Leon's handbook, but then used somebody else's handbook, one of the girls' handbooks, to get into the girls' locker room and move the carpet and the poster in there along with Chihiro, and then hung her up to dry.
Okay.
And that's when that happened. He had access to knowing everything about Genocide Jack.
He knew about the loophole.
He knew about the loophole. Because of her like for him, Toko probably told Byakuya about her split personality Genocide Jack in confidence. And so Byakuya is trying to frame Toko because of that. I believe that the killer is Byakuya.
I dig.
But that's why both the mat and the poster were changed, is because because both of those had at least some blood on them from the murder. If either of those had been left in the boys' locker room, it would have been obvious.
Why'd the gun go off?
Why did the gun go off? We don't know that the gun actually went off, but if the gun went off, the gun probably went off. Well, no, because it wouldn't have gone off, because at that point, the body was no longer a person. 2 people weren't going in. Monokuma specifically stated that the bodies are just things at that point.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he purposefully got the thing to shoot the e-handbook and that's what broke it, and maybe it isn't bulletproof?
Interesting.
Byakuya swapped the poster and rug. He went into the girls' room.
Yeah.
Yes. The one who was prodding the body probably knew the victim was a boy.
Yeah. She said she couldn't remember.
Locker room dumbbell. Yeah, I mean, covered in blood. This is definitely the murder weapon. Mondo's account is that Chihiro wanted to get stronger. Inferiority complex. We know the card reader can only let you in with the right e-handbook. And additionally, lending someone your e-handbook is a violation, but if you take somebody's or borrow somebody else's e-handbook, you're fine. Main hall e-handbooks, we know that there were several in there. There was a broken e-handbook whose name we don't know. We know about the Genocide Jack. Aoi kept her distance from other girls at school, but had no problems talking with boys. The boys' locker room carpet has the blackish stain from the coffee that Sakura always drank, because it's actually the girls' locker room floor. Both of the posters were swapped because that poster got blood on it. Chihiro's e-handbook is missing. She was hung up, not stabbed with scissors. The stain on the carpet in the women's room is no longer there. The library desk lamp's extension cord is gone. And Celeste found her walking up to the boys' locker room, probably. Well, she was in the warehouse with a duffel bag with a blue tracksuit in it.
Throw back. Wait. Never mind.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I wanted to see the exact words in the first paragraph of her account.
Okay.
Yeah,
on the night of the
blue-
murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag.
Yep.
Presumably, she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Because if the clothes had been found at the crime scene, we would have all suspected that Chihiro was a boy.
Yep.
All right. I think I'm ready. I think
All right.
I've got the idea. I think Byakuya was the one that did it.
All right, let's do it.
All rise for the class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will. Then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened. Okay, then let's talk about the murder weapon.
Who wants to talk about murders? First, we have to make it clear who we used the fatal blow.
All right.
So the truth bullet that we have is locker room dumbbell.
All right.
So we got to find out where to shoot that bullet.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
All right, that's correct.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Nope.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh.
No, that's wrong.
I'm glad I missed the first shot.
Yeah.
Can we agree that the object that
I guess I literally
Blow
just
with
have
the
to
dumbbell
shoot
found at the
like
scene of the crime?
incorrect, not just like baseless, but truly incorrect statements.
Yeah.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
We're investigating a murder.
If you don't mind,
Y'all,
we'll proceed
come
from
on.
here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the finished serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more about it?
Always.
Yes. Like, why?
I mean, I guess.
Lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so to think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, the time limit will decrease. But take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. I don't think I'm set to gentle, but let's see. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the white noise.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
That it?
Yep.
Hey, so
Oh, I missed it.
Genocide Jack. I don't know who that is.
So we're gonna have to wait. Let it go again.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
The fact that it takes a second for the words to go through and shoot is really annoying.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Okay,
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
There are actually 3, but we were supposed to figure that out ourselves.
Yeah.
Lust.
Boob lust.
It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic. And
The third
it's something
characteristic is that it's
never
always
been
done with
made
sharp
public.
scissors stabbed into their body.
A specific type of scissors.
What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
how the victim is positioned.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher up.
Yeah, we still have internet access, so I don't know what's happening. Oh, we're back. That was weird. I didn't click a single button as soon as I realized that we were disconnected, so hopefully we haven't missed too much.
Yeah, sorry, the stream died.
Stream died for a second there, but we're back.
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
You did it.
Yeah.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie! What?
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of
So
serial
definitely,
killer is
it's the
afraid of
real
blood?
Genocide Jack.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Real for sure, but I feel like I understand it. Doesn't mean to genocide, but also not to be Toko. The answer is that she's multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. Let's see here. What is the word I'm looking for here?
Oh, that's schizo. S C
S C
H, which is already there.
It's Z.
Z, and then O.
Oh. That's
Now I understand.
that's dumb.
That's dumb and incorrect, but okay.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
How was I supposed to know that that word said schizo when we've never said the word schizo the entire time?
Nope.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too.
It said dissociative identity disorder. It did not say
The suspect
schizo.
might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
This is not best representation of different personality disorders.
Nope, it is not.
Nope. Her behavior.
Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
The dumb look on her face.
It is.
The world has a front and back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
That right there, that line right there, the dual
She was
core,
acting funny,
that's why I was
for
like,
sure.
yep, she's got it.
The melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Let him have control.
Drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of
Def
her.
not actually
killing
being
even
her.
more
I
people.
think she's just scared he might actually come out. Yeah, no, I think the whole thing was a setup. She
Oh,
didn't do
100%.
it, for sure.
You know all this.
I do believe
Who
you
died?
misunderstood
Chihiro died.
her. What
Baby
she's
died.
trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Couldn't keep our promise.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
Byakuya, you're the murderer.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but
But your efforts were useless. What a
Think
disappointment.
she showered yet?
No.
I hate you.
No, I don't.
Well, the
I know this
opening
is like a
act nearly
serious,
finished.
like,
All
emotional
that's left is
moment,
to
but
hear
like I
from the
can't
person
stop
in
thinking
question
about it.
directly.
They made a big deal about it for the first 5 days. It's like day 8. What day is
Mhm.
it? It is currently. It is.
Hello, Nagito Bendi.
It is day 9. Nope.
You don't mean.
It's day 9.
Nagito Komeda.
Nope. It's day 10 now. It's day 10, boys.
A huge thud echoes across the courtroom. And the next second,
Well, hello there.
There it
me
is.
you were hoping to
Genocide
see?
Jill.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to
Ultimate hope. What's a par?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
you? So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
That's kind of a cute face.
You might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless.
I have hope for everybody.
I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Well, we're definitely getting this case because I'm pretty sure we already know who actually did it.
I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to
I believe that Byakuya did it.
Oh, 100%.
But if you know the actual answer, please don't tell us.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it, but I believe Byakuya did it.
Oh, no. He
I'm gonna
100%
tell
did it. I don't
not
believe
to.
it. I know it.
There's clearly a
It is a
motive,
fact.
so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
I'm crazy and bipolar.
If a secret like that came
It
to
happens,
light,
man. It
Toko's
happens.
life would have undoubtedly been
It's a
forever
struggle.
ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have.
Anytime that
side
people talk about like
exposed.
because I remember taking a psych class
Yeah.
and like talking about dissociative disorders, and I was just like, that's not real, like to that level, is it? Are there people that actually go through that big of a change?
Yes.
I
there
know,
are.
I know that functionally speaking, that's got to be true, but like, it just feels
It sucks.
so.
It really sucks.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Spoilers. I'm assuming that I'm assuming you don't speak English as your first language. Spoilers is if you've already played this game and actually know what happens, don't tell us what happens. That's a
But
spoiler.
I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. I need to get more details about all of this.
Feel ready for phase 4.
What's our bullet this time? Status of the dead body. So it's gonna be involving how the body was killed, and then somebody saying definitely this was how it was.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
That's correct.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps
Oh.
if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
I see how that works
When
now.
you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus
That's it.
operandi
I didn't notice that it slowed the voices down. That's great.
You didn't notice before?
The modus operandi.
I noticed immediately as soon as Hina
Really exactly
Hina
the
slowed
same?
down.
I'm
That was
not so
awesome.
sure about
That was pretty great.
Okay, not gonna tell any spoiler. For you, Hope.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
I love Genocide Jack.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation
A
of
Hope
mine.
song? Is there a Hope song?
I guess.
Let me rephrase that.
I want to hang out with Genocide Jill.
Makes more sense.
She's crazy, but she's also like significantly like
She's very interesting.
I
love
like
her as a
I like
character.
Jill much more than I liked Toko ever.
Oh yeah, hate Toko.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One clear difference between the murders and the set of photos. Clear difference: fatal injury.
I got it!
Hey, it gave me my health back to
The
full.
cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
Man has he does have scissors impaled into his nipples.
Yep.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes.
She's hella interesting and seems like she has awesome stories.
Different from the other murders. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you
Now that's knockout face.
Killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Yep. When she was suspended, what was used to suspend her.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
I'm gonna show him some hope up your ass. It says hope up your ass, ass, ass. Hope for your despair girl. Oh, I guess is that from the Goodbye Despair Girls game or whatever it is?
I'm doing a thirst.
Doing the thirst.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
What
Big
else?
Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac.
Listen up, Big Mac.
Yeah, it's a good song.
There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
She only kills men.
Oh.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting. to
She
be
only kills
discovered.
males.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Names of the victims. You notice. Here you go.
There was a girl.
Chihiro was a girl.
Got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
I love that laughing sprite. That's
It's
a really good
adorable.
one.
I love it.
Talking about.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Kin Hara, Tetsuya Honda, Shoji Gaku, Kano Issei, and Takeshi Yoshida. Go into it.
They were all guys?
I'm on fire, but I have hope.
That's right. The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men. I can't believe I said it. I'm so embarrassed.
The hell is wrong with you?
Help it. I'm just a full throttle boy-on-boy fangirl.
Yep.
And the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-blood fan madam.
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
I'm gonna draw the shit out of Genocide Jill.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some fan art of Genocide Jill.
Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly car!
Lowly, curt,
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Wait, my home is really on fire. Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
You should probably fix that.
Yeah.
Whatever reason
Probably.
I'm for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's got him.
She's fully equipped. That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you? Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Did he die? I'm so happy. I hate. Same.
Mood though?
I read something earlier today that was great. Sleep is just an 8-hour trial of death, and we all really just fucking love it.
Yep.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
This time, yes.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
The police at Byakuya.
That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There is one person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. It's nice someone. Byakuya. She's the only one that actually looks worried in the scenarios, too. Well, no, I guess there were several people that did.
It's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim
You've got a
was
knife?
Chihiro, a girl.
Oh boy.
Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But you didn't know it was
Nothing
Chihiro.
strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
We didn't know that Chihiro was
Share
the
with
one.
the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction with what Byakuya just said. We need to make it clear to everyone. New element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. You aim at a weak spot and hold down on the left mouse button. Then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder.
Okay.
However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. So you don't seem to have to answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets. It might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. So let's see here. Yeah, the Monokuma file is not going to matter at all. I'm making that a clear thing to say here.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro,
That-
who was a girl.
That's it.
Yep, we didn't know that before we found the body. Because at least 3 people would have had to find the body beforehand.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
It's with Byakuya's attitude. It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like there's nothing to do with
What's
him.
the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
He went into the boys' locker room, didn't realize that he killed Chihiro, just saw somebody in a blue tracksuit, killed them, and then realized after the fact. Note that none of her clothes were covered in it, but her legs were. The blood. The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders, the evidence that proves Byakuya was responsible for the hidden in there, what could it be? Make your argument. Library desk lamp. I don't know how useful that's gonna be. Got 12 minutes.
Difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
That is true.
And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
That's also true.
But Chihiro was suspended with. It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
Yeah.
That's right. It absolutely was.
Is it really rope?
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that
That's
rope
it.
before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, that's what the dots mean. That shows you how much is left in the actual. Okay.
In the dots on the side that are like on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was our influence bar until I started watching it this time, and I was like, oh.
Our influence bars are health. The hearts
Okay.
in the corner.
Yeah, that
You
makes
see,
sense.
that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. Totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. Does that mean, can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something about it.
Scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Man, if Byakuya is not the killer here and we still have to listen to him, I'm gonna be pissed.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
She was definitely found there.
Could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Because the carpet and poster of the men's and women's locker room were
I
changed.
think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Uh-oh.
Here we
That
go.
was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? The story suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, who had been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was
I've
killed
been
somewhere
ready
else?
for him to die. Same.
Same.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There's something that was switched between the boys and the girls' locker room. Posters.
Do the posters first. Okay.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
I like that they did wait to pull out the scissors
Yeah.
poses until after we revealed that she does in fact have the scissors.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
A poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boy's locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
Not quite. No, that's not the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Now we go to the boys' locker room carpet.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then
I'm assuming we're showing off
Yeah,
photographs we've taken with our e-handbook.
We've got to be able to like show photos, right? Because
anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the
in a
boys'
couple of
locker
episodes we spoke about there not being enough voice acting, but this scenes are
Yeah,
awesome.
it's great.
Totally worth the rest of the game having very
room,
little.
then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
He's right. Could Judah really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Here we go. What is my bullet? Broken e-handbook. I can see how that's useful, but let's see if that's actually useful or not.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
Fair.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
I really hope I got this right.
You were right.
Okay.
No, I don't
You told me
think
not to help you
Chihiro
every
used
time,
Leon's
so.
handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Not against using, only lending yours out.
The rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In
Stealing.
other words, you could borrow a dead
Steal.
person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills.
See, I forgot that she was the ultimate programmer.
I didn't.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Her handbook
Mr.
states.
Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Dude was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya was the one who did it really, but still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Atta girl.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth, and that's what you've got to say?
She did.
There's
She
no
was the
way
one that
she
probed
could
the
get in
body.
boys' locker room, right? So
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
She's not
Well,
a she.
to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Are we allowed to do that?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
What?
For real?
The middle of the trial?
Now
Yep.
then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... scene of the scene of the crime. No, she does have blood on her clothes.
Okay.
But I guess that's like drip
You've
from
already
where
searched this place top
Her
to
head was,
bottom.
yeah.
What are you
hanging.
trying to pull, Missy?
trial recesses are a thing. I know, it's just we weren't allowed one last time.
I'd like you to examine the
Made a good-
victim's body
made a good
one more
excuse,
time.
Mm-hmm. Want me to check it
Be
again?
sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully. No way.
I'm not gonna let him finish that sentence.
Thank you.
Probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything. It's just based on religious grounds, you know?
very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay.
Don't let them rabbit her.
I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just
Are you
leave
sure
this to
about
me.
that?
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
I mean,
That's
they are
not it at all.
100%.
Stop screwing around.
100% they are girlfriends.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began quietly examining the body.
Sure to check
I'm gonna be
her
honest,
entire
Sakura's the
body,
best person
and
to
I
have done
believe
this.
you'll
She
solve
respects
a particular
people.
mystery.
Her entire body? What? This is...
Oh, she's about to go Super Saiyan.
What is it? Not possible. It's not possible.
She's got a penis. Staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form, her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
a boy.
Is a trans woman.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for
You're oddly
confirming
calm for
that.
this entire thing, Hifumi. And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy? Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Bitch.
So that's
Chill.
what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
I think that Chihiro was actually a trans woman. Thought it never even crossed my mind.
Thank you, Paladin.
He would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial
We also
assertion.
don't actually know how Chihiro identified.
That's fair.
I don't think anybody ever actually asked.
That's fair.
Guys can also be perfectly fine wearing dresses and knee-high
yeah.
socks.
That's fair. I just don't like using the word
victim
trap.
was killed in the boys' locker room
Mhm.
and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Excuse you?
So they have switched pronouns, so even if it's not how they identified, it's a step forward.
Titillating situation!
So now everything
that
has
word
been
again.
connected.
You're not allowed to.
Mysteries
You're not
have
allowed to use that
finally
word
become
specifically. You
Okay,
specifically.
well, connected or clear
Only
or
Aoi is allowed
whatever.
to say that.
We still
Fair.
think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it.
But maybe he's not the one that actually did the killing.
But
But if that's not the case, why would he
Cover for someone
cover for
else.
someone else if he's the one that's still going to die in all of this?
Mhm.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Interesting.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you.
Fair.
And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Why?
Are you fucking with us right now?
Why?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
Then who the hell did it?
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
I'm confused.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
Sorry, it's just as it panned and you can finally see Yufumi's face.
His stupid fucking gerbil face. I hate his gerbil face.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Maybe he just wants Suicide Jill dead because they are a threat. Maybe he thought that this was his chance to do something for the upper crust and actually get rid of the actual murderer. And who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure of we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murderer scene, which means the killer's a guy. So the crime scene was the boys' locker room. You would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But there's still not enough. I need to find out some more clues. We don't even know that the handbook that was broken is Leon's.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to do anything. Celeste's account. What was... Oh, that,
Warehouse.
Warehouse, yeah.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh.
Nope. Let's keep it like that. It makes me think you said...
Shoot!
Sorry, I should have
Isn't
said
there
something
a
faster.
single clue that might
No,
lead us
let
to
me
who
make
did
those kinds of
it?
mistakes.
Fair.
Clues are one thing, but did nobody get a
I
look
just-
at the killer?
What was wrong with what I did?
Sure, if
That was just
someone
the
saw
wrong answer.
Killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even
We
that
haven't gotten
might
to
be
it yet.
enough for now.
Let's see here.
Yeah. All we need
Any
right now
kind of
is
new
any
info.
kind
I
of
thought that was more new info. But I guess that's not a contradiction, is it?
It's not a contradiction.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
That's it. Yeah.
No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
I don't like that.
The rest of you at
And then
the
again, she's supposed to be,
you
like,
do.
foreign sounding,
That's why
so...
you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever, just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track
One of them
jacket
was making a weird noise.
But
They
we
always
didn't
make weird
find anything
noises.
like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get
Just
rid of
slinking
any
into her little
evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Good.
Not that I can see, at least. You're going kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone,
Mm.
and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
Which means it's probably either Pompadour Man or Taka.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being
Mondo.
revealed.
Mondo. It's either Mondo or Taka.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Or who was in charge of the thing this time around? Was it still? Is it still the same week?
Day 9 or 10.
If it's still the same week, then technically Hifumi's still the Trash King.
Yeah. Trash King. He is a
You
trash
want to track
king.
down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Like it really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow, it's really hard to believe.
Alright, we are on what round number is this?
I don't know, but
This
let's
is
see here.
round, we're still, okay.
Celeste's account is still the bullet. We know that the jacket was blue.
Round 9.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
To the locker
On
room.
his way to go exercise.
That's true.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
It was blue.
Got it! We picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
Okay.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Yes.
My tracksuit is black.
We don't know that. We don't know if that was true or not. I fired for no reason. That was my fault. That was my fault.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on
I should
his
just
way
let
to
it
go
play out.
exercise. So next
Yeah, we
have
got
to
the
ask,
time.
I always forget. I've got like 12 minutes every single time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I feel the need to be, like, pressured.
Tracksuit.
I got it! We picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit
That's it?
is
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have
Mood.
a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Celeste didn't mention what color the tracksuit was when she told the story.
Did she not?
Not just now.
Oh.
First of all, we
Oh.
know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
How come
So next
every
we have to
time
ask,
someone's murdered,
why
it's my
did he
best
choose
boy
the
that does it?
specific
So Taka's definitely the murderer.
What do you mean, the
My best
specific
boy.
tracksuit?
I got it!
Mondo.
We picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit
Oh,
was
Mondo is the one that mentioned the color.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit?
No, that's wrong.
It was either Mondo or Taka at this point.
What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
Saw him stuff a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then assumed he's headed off to go exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
Don't try to defend your bro this time around.
The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Why is he Cherry now? Oh, right. Close,
Chihiro.
it's close enough.
Chihiro?
I mean, there's like we were Big Mac.
So,
Yeah.
got it. Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hand.
Then why didn't you mention it until now?
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
He stuffed it in and zipped it up before he left the warehouse.
Felt like he was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
and when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he was acting, or the way he talked. It's not because I hate him. Think about the way he was acting.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. The way he talked.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
He did say the dude.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I just didn't say anything about it.
I didn't even pick up on it. I didn't even give it a second thought.
I heard it. I guess I was just like, I guess he thought of Chihiro fondly to call him dude.
Yeah.
But
You notice such a tiny detail?
I wouldn't have put two and two together.
No, definitely not.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really
Unless his
you?
deep secret was one of his manly promises that he had to keep. In which case, he was willing to murder to keep it.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone.
Alright, now it's time to
You've
get
been
into
all
this.
over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
I don't like whatever he...
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
I don't like it.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Oh yeah, he wouldn't tell us what it was.
What kind of evidence? Actually, now that I'm thinking
about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Tell us anyway.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Must belong to. It's Mondo's. It's mine. It's Chihiro's.
Because hers is missing.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Of two very specific books.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. Splitting a bug by hitting its weak point. You mentioned there was a weak point earlier.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
Somebody found the weak point.
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for
Pushy demands.
But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally...
He found out because he was still wearing his clothes when he went to the sauna. But Taka wasn't.
Oh.
So he found out that whenever his handbook broke... So the one that we found at the scene was not Chihiro's broken handbook. It's his broken handbook.
Huh. Mondo.
It's Mondo's broken handbook, and he stole Chihiro's handbook, and that's the one he's currently using.
I flippin' knew it! You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna...
Unless he stole Leon's handbook.
Yeah.
And then he's been using Leon's, and his is the broken
Then
one.
the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite
Yeah, Mondo still wore his clothes through the sauna, but Taka
What if they
didn't.
found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
Ouch. Sorry, by Stardust, that sucks.
What?
I just now read that.
I fidget and I was in a sauna once and my hand and legs got burnt.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Mondo. Okay, one.
His bro.
It was. Select someone. Mondo.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Why they're bros now.
And for the contest, Mondo just so
His
happened
fucking
to keep
towel on his
handbook
hair
in
still kills me.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but a little late to be streaming, ain't it? I mean, we're finishing up the trial.
Also, it's only 9:30 here.
Yeah. Broken E-handbook, Chihiro's handbook, and the card reader.
Would you like me to tell you which one?
I'm gonna let it cycle through a couple of times and see.
There. You have
If
the
what
time.
he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Sure, Mondo's handbook broke during this on a slowdown. If I can just prove that. Show the handbook Mondo must actually be.
Let's test.
So I'm gonna say it's broken E-handbook that I want to do, and I want to prove it.
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Okay.
Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
I was trying to remember what the second one
Mondo
was.
wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'll let it go by one more time then. We'll be fine.
Let's test Makoto's
But I
assertion.
do want to be using broken E-handbook for
What
this.
he says is correct. Then
I've deduced
Mondo,
that much.
You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Still so funny.
It is.
Mondo's handbook is definitely broken. His handbook does not work just fine. He's got Leo's handbook. Leon's handbook.
You have right now. Is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning?
No, we've been over this.
Oh my god.
We have been over this. You can borrow someone else's.
How I look at it, there is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but No worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Taka.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
Alright,
That
here we go.
way,
Comic book
everything
time.
will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Yeah, the closing argument. So let's see here. From the left, we've got that happening. Chihiro specifically, in this scene right here, we want to see the Chihiro had the jacket out right here. Then afterwards, she runs away. We're here, and we have Blue Book going into the boys' locker room.
Then Chihiro goes into the boys' locker room.
So yeah, Chihiro going into boys' locker room, meeting Mondo, putting the book away. As she's putting the book away, Mondo's got the weight. Bam, splatter. Is that correct? Yeah, because then it's bam. Drop to the floor, dead. Act 3.
Go back.
Mhm.
That. Okay, so 1, gym bag with blue tracksuit hanging out.
Yeah.
2, e-handbook being used on card reader.
Yeah.
3, Chihiro walking into boys' locker room.
Yeah.
4, killer working out with dumbbell.
Yeah.
5, close-up of blood-splattered poster.
Oh. Oh yeah, because I guess there's a lot of blood splatter. Then it would be a blood splattered poster. Bam. Then rolling up the thing, removing the poster, picking up the body. Picking up the body. Then going to the girls' room.
Yep.
Then.
Oh wait, no. Switch this one
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
poster.
yeah. Yeah. This is taking down. Then putting the new poster up. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, putting the new poster. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Going
this one
in.
says corners are bent and then corners aren't bent. So.
But yeah, corners are bent is that, but
Yes.
why would we be replacing this poster now when we've got, we were moving Chihiro's body here though.
Yeah.
So we're moving Chihiro's body. I guess there's no better place to have that moment
Yeah.
take place.
Yeah. Okay, so killer putting the poster back up, corners aren't bent.
Okay.
Then the next one, we go.
We have posters have been swapped, blood's been swapped. We got him walking into the girl's room, seeing the body, taking his cord, tying her up, writing the blood after dipping his fingers in it. Bloodlust. We've got approaching the sauna, throwing the book into the sauna, and then the book slapping the floor of the sauna.
Yep.
Here's exactly what happened. First,
That's hard. I hate those.
I do too.
I hate that a lot because it's so nebulous.
It is.
Like you got plenty of time to do it, but like.
Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You could.
Whoops.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he. which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there, and the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro,
What was that?
Oh, that was how
Oh.
it hit the bottom of the table.
and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks
Should never have
been
rung
placed in the
in.
main hall.
You should never have a rug in a workout room. Or keep the workout stank forever.
Using one of those,
True.
A boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
It's best to just go ahead and just use EVA
And
foam
that's
mats.
exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Yakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Why? We don't know.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work.
Why did he decide to go in the girls' locker room in the first place?
He used the cord.
He probably wanted to see if he could,
That's
because
fair.
he found the notebooks.
Fair.
Then, using the victim's own blood, he left.
No,
a
Byakuya
grisly
decided to be a
message there
dick.
at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Why? Because you're an asshole.
He probably also wanted to reveal that Genocide Jack was here,
Fair.
which, you know, worked.
Yeah.
The killer, having
But we still don't know
already
his true
disposed of
motive.
Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
And now we go into the rhythm game.
Right. Rhythm.
This can't
Oof.
be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. Has already revealed itself earlier in the trial. I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. New element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely, yes. Let's talk about Fever Time and Nega Time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, Fever Time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, wherever you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. This only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make sure it's the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access the special time, right? So we've also prepared something called Nega Time your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega Time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate Fever Time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. Unsurprisingly, if your action's difficulty is set to Gentle, the opponent won't use Nega Time. Well then, good luck and have fun, except we're definitely not on Gentle.
No.
But we're not on Mean either, we're like in the middle.
Yeah.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt.
Final strike.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Rhythm games suck.
Well, that's not even a good rhythm game.
It's not.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his
This rhythm game sucks. Rhythm games are cool.
Yeah, rhythm games in general are great.
In which
But this
case,
game's
just
rhythm mode
equal
sucks.
it looks right now. Once we do that, we'll.
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Results. Hey. Got 83 more medals to send to the store.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
I hate it.
Wait, hold on.
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Mondo. Which sucks, because I liked Mondo.
Yeah, I know. He was my best boy.
Of course, the characters that I actually like don't get to survive.
Gotta pick another best boy. Who's our next murderer, Paladin?
Who's our next murderer? Let's try to game the system and say that the next best boy is Byakuya.
Yes.
The Blackened that killed Chihiro was Mondo Owada. In case you're wondering, vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're getting very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. Refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
Why did you do it?
Now then.
Looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text.
I want to hear it. I want to hear a story of sad men.
Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. But he had chosen this as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him, and he was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the reveal of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet... Oh, so Mondo didn't do it out of anything negative. Chihiro asked him to kill him so that he could get away from the whole thing. Maybe? Really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance. Gotta get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought in the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help, but he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. That person he went to was Mondo. The biker gang fella has been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. How does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun suspecting his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
That was what triggered it after all. Because after 24 hours, everybody on the outside would know, and his promise was to make sure that nobody knew. The only way that he could do that was to kill Chihiro.
What is this?
Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
Don't make me
Good times, Mr. Repeat. Judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. All there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother.
Holy shit.
Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble, but the only reason he had a chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Dai Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. What was that sound? Oh. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. Before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Vavroom. Daya, the older brother, number one of the gang, and his number two is younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when
Peaches and gravy?
Yeah, that's what I think it said.
What?
But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw at Mondo's very soul. The kid's got to take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I just...
I get stronger than Daya. Once, just one time, no matter what, I gotta win. Don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. But on the night of the Amazing Brothers retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. Zuzu. Crazy diamond. But during the race, tragedy struck. The Kid Brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... Lying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. Yeah, but he believes he killed his brother. He's the reason his brother's dead. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang.
Stardust! You know what happened! Think about Callum! You know exactly what happened.
In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to this kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. Wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding the light on his secret. But did By Stardust play this game before, all the way through? I don't think so.
Oh.
Mondo killed his own brother.
No, I'm referencing his character from our D&D campaign who blames himself for the death of another character that he didn't actually kill.
Who's also alive.
Who's also alive, but that's a long story.
That happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother have worked on to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I, Mondo, after I saw that Monokuma had him on me, my head filled with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness that just started swirling around. Never felt anything like it before.
I just
didn't know what to do about it. Wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right about then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret.
I'm sorry. Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
I want to change.
Wrap myself in lies, I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. It felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. Change, I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
But saying I should just say it?
What?
Saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I had never had. So I was jealous of him. That jealousy broke me.
What?
Making fun of me? Strong. You fucking with me right now?
No.
You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What do you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you. I'm stronger than Daya. I am. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, I was lying at my feet covered in blood. I had a dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground.
I
killed him?
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Don't you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You son of a bitch, go ahead, say it again, I dare you. Say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
I also love this next sound clip. Well, not exactly.
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
You're very excited for this game.
I like this game.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Do you think that Yotaka is
still
gay?
weird.
No, I don't think so. Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. What's gonna be this time? He's tied to a motorcycle. He's got a pompadour as well. I love it. The death ball? Yep, the death ball.
It's gonna go so fast that the G-forces are gonna push
The
through
cage
hills
of
in.
death. Oh, yeah. I hate this.
Yep. Oh no. It's electrocuted too. Brutal.
He's not even he's not even on the motorcycle anymore.
Oh my god.
Mondo butter.
Oh my god. 2 times so fast.
It literally blasted him into butter.
Oh my god. Like that one racist book my grandmother has.
What?
I'll tell you about that story in a minute.
Yeah, they liquefied him. They got him spinning so fast that they liquefied him. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. Can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. Feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen.
Little Black Sambo, that's the name of the book.
Little Black Sambo?
Yeah.
As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again that he, of course, had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya? Completely insane, you know that? The game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
You don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that. I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. The rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he had gone, I looked in and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't even have the slightest idea I'd seen him. You're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would have livened things up. You did all of that to liven things up? So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene.
But...
Damn, man. We hadn't figured out who'd really done it. You would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned his eyes to me. You could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I know who I have to watch out for. So that was your reason. Are you satisfied? Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on, there's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next? You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All of this punishment, all the despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. Do you mean? 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 Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think it's the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion. Maybe you guys are on some messed up reality TV show.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Sort of a Truman Show situation where we've all been trapped here and forced to believe that this is happening.
Basically.
Except maybe it's actually like a really fucked up snuff film and they are all dying.
Yeah. Or we're all in tanks and our brains are wired up to something.
Ooh, sort of a virtual death machine?
Yeah.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed on the case to Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us.
Poor baby.
Out of all of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying,
It's Junko.
this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
It's Junko.
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing
We're
we
at
can do about it
16.
now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
It's Junko.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but...
Junko is in the title screen. She's coming back.
Denied, because you see, that's
Also, this is not the 16th student.
And Nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Why would you think it's Junko, Megumin?
Well, originally I was like, it's either Junko or the 16th student, but they asked who the 16th student was. Plus, like I said, Junko is on the title screen.
I mean, the person that is opposite of us is always somebody different on the title screen.
Oh, okay, never mind. I just saw her this time. Crazy diamond present.
Save data. And that'll be where we end it tonight.
But...
What?
But I want Danganronpa.
But I want to be able to go to work at a reasonable hour and actually feel well rested.
Okay.
And it's already 10:14, and I still have to take you home.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got a chance to save, so we'll save this for later.
All right, I will read you guys the story that I promised.
Oh, right, yes, this.
So my grandmother has this really racist old picture book, right? It's called Little Black Sambo, or Sambo. So, the plot. Sambo is a South Indian boy who lives with his father and mother, named Black Jumbo and Black Mumbo, respectively. While he was out walking, Sambo encounters 4 hungry tigers and surrenders his colorful new clothes, shoes, and umbrella so they will not eat him. The tigers are vain, and each think that he is better dressed than the other. They have a massive argument and chase each other all around the tree until they are reduced to a pool of ghee, which is clarified butter. Sambo then recovers his clothes and collects the ghee, which his mother uses to make pancakes. It's just, like, this plot synopsis does not describe how racist this book was.
Is it the depictions that made it racist?
Yes. Also, Little Black Sambo and Black Mumbo and Black Jumbo. Like...
Yeah, I mean, then, yeah.
You know, as a 5 or 6-year-old white girl, you don't realize how racist it is. But you just, like that unlocked the memory. It unlocked it.
That's okay, Paranoia. Check Discord. Anyway, thank you everybody who came out to today's stream. I've been Paladin Null. This has been Megumin.
Hi.
This has been Danganronpa. Trigger Happy Havoc. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.